There's my bucket. I've been looking for this. Ugh. Yeet! Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. As you can probably tell, we're standing in another field with derecho damage. This is the field out at my place, and this is one of the worst hit areas as well. It's actually a little bit worse over the hill as well. Everything through here was pretty much flattened. I think when the derecho came through, we got a really strong wind gust right through this valley where the trees end in a line there, and I don't know how far south it went, but it seems like there's just a strong gust that came across through here and basically wiped down all the corn up on this ridge top. Even the strips down there don't look too well. So right now the corn average has been about 150, and the spots where it's not down has been running about 200, but overall the average brings us to about 150. I found that over all the farms, whether we have much damage or not, that seems to be what all of the farms are averaging, is just right around that 150 to 160. So I'm waiting to see what my 24-acre field will yield. Just have to wait and see. That one doesn't have any damage that I can tell, but this stuff is actually yielding around 200 in the spots where it's not down. Just over the hill there, that strip that goes around actually has some protection from the trees. It has bad coon damage on the back half, where you can't really see, and you can see that there's a little bit of damage out there, but that's way off in the distance. Today's goal is to get the bin at Rockville filled. So we're gonna be harvesting in this video until we get that bin full. We transferred everything over that was in the Sioux bin over to the Sioux cup to finish filling that. So now the Sioux cup is filled as full as it's gonna be until it's sold, probably in April. So we sell in April because we do forward contracting, and you can lock in a higher price than during harvest. I always say that if you have bins, you should always be locking in your price during harvest or beforehand, because that's pretty much the point of having bins in the first place, is basically just locking in a profit. What you'll do if you don't lock it in is you'll wait until the next summer, and then the price doesn't go up, and then you just lost money by putting corn in the bin. So you could save yourself a lot of trouble by just not doing that. Whereas if you forward contract it, you're always guaranteeing that you're getting a higher price. You should be anyway, unless the price next year is that bad, but it's almost always better in the spring than it is during harvest because there's an abundance of corn. So this is in fact where I live. I don't really talk about it all that much. From a distance, the house doesn't look so bad. Up close, it looks like a meth house, but I guarantee you that this is not actually a meth house. Just the outside is pretty run down. We've done the one side, we've re-sided that, but it needs to be redone, and it needs a new roof as well. I'm getting there, I'm working on it. It's kind of just one thing at a time. I just finished working on the laundry room on the inside, but it's coming along. It's a fixer-upper. So what do you say we hop in the 82 and go find Dad? I'm sure he's getting to the point where he's ready. Hey, Rocket. Oh. Looks like the chain came off again. We were on a roll too. One good spin and he fixed it. When the corn's down like this, it's really challenging to try to get up off the ground. Dad's doing the best that he possibly can to get this stuff up, but sometimes you just can't get the stalks to stand up straight and go through the head. Really can't be helped. You just gotta take it nice and slow and try to do your best, and that's what he's doing. Since we're getting the corn finally off the field out of my place, I really would like to let my cows out here, but we've got a bad spot in the fence back there, so we need to come out and do something about that if we're going to let them out. We need to put gates across there by the pole shed, but other than that, the cows could be let out into this field, try to clean up some of the ears and stuff that are left out here. So here I'm holding one of the ears that I literally just picked up off the ground. And as you can see, this is tiny, far from the tiniest out there. There's another one. Sure. You can see the size difference there between the two ears. The one on the right is filled out a lot more. Not great, but more. So the yield monitor on the combine was reading anywhere from 140 to 60 or 50 going on the strips down there. The yield average overall was going down. When I hopped out, it was about 142 bushels to the acre. And if you guys have been following along with my previous videos, you'll know my thoughts on what the yield is, or how the yield is going. So we're probably going to finish this strip down here. He said he wants to finish that one and then maybe do the bottom one tomorrow. We're looking at filling the bin. So far we've got about 5,000 bushels put back in it. I haven't heard from Travis on how full it is or how close it is from the top. So we're going to throw as much as we can into the bin at Rockville, and then I'll haul the rest down to the river at Dubuque. The price of corn today actually just crashed. So depending on what the corn market is going to do, you know, do you try to sell it as fast as you can, book your spring contracts now? That's kind of my feelings on it, because for what the spring price was, it was over $4, and to me, for corn, anything over $4 is good, especially considering that we were looking at less than $3 cash this summer. So we're gonna pick this back up in the morning, and then hopefully we're thinking next week they're forecasting a full week of good weather. We're hoping that we can get everything else out. Just got to keep the truck moving when the time comes. Rocket. So now it's the next day. We're going to finish this strip here and then go over to Rockville. The bin is starting to fill up, but it's going to take probably the big patch over at Rockville. So we're going to head there next. Rocket last night, and yesterday actually, he got sick in the tractor, so I had to take the hose and wash the 82 out. Right, Rocket? He doesn't even feel any guilt. Well, last night he got sick, and as I was cleaning it up, I cleaned it up, and as I was walking over to the trash can, some of it fell in my boots. How did I clean that up, you ask? Just keep changing the socks. I'm actually kind of worried about him though, because I don't know if they got into something or what, but he has not been eating. So, you know, he's getting up there. He's about to turn 9 this coming year. So, you're still a pretty good boy, aren't you? Yeah, I couldn't even be mad. Had to clean up after you twice yesterday. This is the farm with a lot of what we think is coon damage. Along the trees on the backside, it was just decimated this summer. And in one of our haymaking videos, I was driving by it and noticed it and walked out in it, and it was pretty bad. When we quit last night, the average was still dropping. It was at 138, which again is not all that impressive. Wind damage here, plus with the coon damage and deer damage and possible bear damage. Hydraulics are still cold, so it didn't go down all the way. Mom's out hand picking corn ears. It's not like it's gonna amount to anything. Oh my God! Would you look at that? Travis has been holding out all the cool techie toys on us. I just dumped a load into the 76. We're gonna go over to the bin, dump it in, see how that's coming along. Dad's got about a third of big patch left, as well as this bottom strip. It looks like Rockville's gonna be done with corn. We still have everything across the road of Travis's to do yet, but I think Travis might plan on harvesting some of that tomorrow. I guess it depends on how much is left in the bin, because it would be nice to be able to get all the downed corn done, get all Dad's stuff done so the bins are full. Now you may notice that we've been running the reel, and the reason for that being is because we have been getting into down corn again. But the current plan is to get all of that stuff done, and then we can completely take the reel off and not have to think about it again. that stuff is dirty. Let's climb up each bin and have a look and see how much is inside. First bin we're gonna climb is the souk up. This one's full. This is the work in progress, which is the Sioux. So although these bins look a lot alike, they were built by two different manufacturers, and we have a preference, honestly. We think that the souk up was built to higher standards, higher quality, and one of the things that you can really tell just by looking between the bins as to which one was probably built to be a little bit tougher. Have a look at the bolts going up the bin. So double bolted on each sheet of tin all the way up. Over on the Sioux, it's double bolted up the first 3 sheets, and then it's alternating, presumably to save cost. Guess which one of these bins cost us $20,000 more than the other? It was this one. This one does have a larger auger on it, but it feeds out so much slower. Overall, it's nice just to have bins, to be perfectly honest. It's really not that big of a, maybe in the long term it's going to be a bigger deal for us, but for right now, we're just happy that we have the bin space here. Another thing that we noticed is that there's more steps going up the souk up, and the steps are actually like 25% wider. So these steps are nice and wide. I can climb to the top of these with relatively little effort. You know, I don't feel much strain in my legs. Let's have a lookie to see how much corn we got in here. Whoa! That's a healthy pile. I think it's pretty good. We have a bit of a cone in the center, but I'd say she's full. Well, heck, it looks like I didn't get the cart fully unloaded. The corn is definitely higher moisture than what we've been putting in. It's not flowing very well. Let's go take a climb on that one. See how much space we have left in there is my biggest question. Now there's these tiny things. Oh, it's getting there. Won't be much longer now. We're about 1 sheet of tin down. We can fit more in there yet. Did somebody order some cow chow? I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm here. The horizon's got me tripping. I'm not sure if that's a bunch of fog rolling in. As you can see, we're looking in the Sioux bin now. The Sioux bin is full. It's right up to the stirrator. So what we're doing is we're taking the half load out of the center of the bin. That'll help lower the level in the bin just a little bit to get it just below the stirrator. That'll also kind of core the bin, so a lot of the fines fall in the center. So come next spring, after those fines sit in there for so long, you might have issues with feeding out. So by taking out a partial load in the center of the bin, you kind of help remove some of those fines that cause issues. Travis just finished harvesting everything across the road. So Rockville is now completely done. Now we can focus on, I think we have like 4 or 5 farms left. But now we can focus on my place next to finish filling the small bin here that I'm going to be using for feed. Travis is about to take the 82 out now. We're gonna head to the next farm, but that's for our next video. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All How Farms Work. And with that, I'll see you next time.